All right, guys, thank you for tuning in today. So, today I'm actually coming in with a video on how to show gratitude. Now, for some people, gratitude obviously is meaning thanks for, something that was given to you or, feelings being reciprocated, whatever the case is. In this video, I want to actually touch upon giving gratitude to the divine. Some people don't consider it that. Sometimes it's, for them it's Yahweh, sometimes it's God, whoever you see fit. I don't judge here, but it's always important, even spiritual guides and ancestors, we want to make sure we cover everybody, angels, all of that. You want to make sure that you're taking the time out to give gratitude to them because they are working with us hand in hand to make sure that our life is successful. And not giving gratitude to them sometimes can, be the reason why you may be going through some things because you're ungrateful. So it's really important to just kind of take the time out to just give thanks because especially if you're praying for things, you want to make sure that they know that you're caring about the fact that you're receiving those things. You also have to think about it this way. You're establishing a connection or you're maintaining a connection with the divine and, the spiritual guides as well. And, say this is your best friend. Say your friend is giving you a ride to the store. You wouldn't get out of that car without saying thank you. At least if you had manners, you wouldn't, right? It's the same thing with spirit. They're up there, they're taking care of us, they're making sure that we're doing well down here. Sometimes we go through things, but I always believe that if we're going through things, it's meant to humble us, it's meant to teach us things, it's meant to guide us. Sometimes bad things happening to us, or what we call tower moments. Those things are meant for us, they're not happening to us, they're happening for us. So either way, let's get back to the actual gratitude. So for me, every morning I like to go ahead and just give gratitude to, the divine. I call mine Yahweh, okay? I definitely believe in him. I believe that he's guiding everything for me. Now, that's not for everybody. Don't judge. But I like to give thanks because, in the morning, it's fresh on my mind. It's a good routine to have. And, it shows that you're not just waking up and just like forgetting about them altogether. So for me, I actually wrote out a list. And mine was kind of just like a rough draft, but it kind of gives you like a basic idea on how to give gratitude. Some people just like to wake up and say thank you for waking up, but there's so much more that they've done for us that just being thankful for waking up probably doesn't cut it. So let me go ahead here and I'm just going to read off a few of mine. And as I go, I'll give you, a little bit of feedback on why I wrote that or why, that's beneficial for some. Okay. So my first one is thank you for waking me this morning. Obviously, that's pretty self-explanatory. If you're waking up, you're breathing right now, that's the reason to be blessed. That's the reason to be thankful and definitely should be spoken on. My next one is thank you for the air I breathe. I definitely, again, that's something that's really self-explanatory. There are people out there who, don't live in a country where there's fresh air, and I know that obviously outdoors is fresh air, but, there's a lot of polluted areas in the world. Obviously, you've seen Chernobyl diaries. Those people had radiation in the air. Whatever the case may be, it's always good to just give thanks for the things that you have around you. All right, so the next one I have is thank you for being here for me. There's many times where, you may be going through something in life and you find that, hey, you know what, I need to call this person, I need to call that person. And you find that, hey, you know what, I'm not able to reach anybody, or in this situation, you have to walk it alone. And with that in mind, it's always good to, take it upon yourself to thank Spirit for being with you because they do follow you on your journey. There's probably many times where you may have missed being hit by a car. Well, who you think did that? There's times where there was a shooting down the street, but you was there 5 minutes ago. That's something to be thankful for because you could have been there. There's something that pulled you away. So I definitely give thanks for just, being there for me, because they, divinely move us where they need us to be. That way we're safe. That's protection. And I think that that's really important when you're giving your gratitude, to thank them for that, because, there's a lot of evil entities out here that's mischievous and out here willing to get you. But you're being divinely protected if you're here. Okay? I say thank you for saving me. Now, for me, I'm pretty sure everybody has had bouts of, things like depression, or bouts of, illnesses that just go around. And, obviously with COVID-19, I'm very, very thankful for the fact that I have the ability to even be here right now to even give this to you. And that couldn't have been without them. I've been through life-threatening situations before, so I'm always thankful that I'm here. The next one is thank you for our relationship. Mentally, with dealing with, depression and such, it's always good to be thankful for that mental relationship that you have with them. Your intuition is basically them speaking to you. That's your higher self, but they also come to you through your thoughts. Sometimes they come to you through your chakras, which I'll explain a little bit later. But they also come to you in that format. So I'm always thankful for the fact that, our relationship is decent, that they're willing to take things on for me, that they're willing to give me advice in situations, willing to show me signs to steer me in the right direction. So that relationship to me is sacred. And I'm always thankful for it, because who do you know walking around this earth that's going to have your back as much as this? And if you do have somebody like that, bless you, but there's nobody I feel in my life that's going to ever have me more than the divine. All right, so my next one is thank you for fresh air. I'm going to pass on that one because we kind of did go ahead and just said, with the thank you for the air I breathe, that kind of covers the same thing a little bit there. It's a little bit more in depth with that one. I said I was going to skip it. I'm going to actually go ahead and explain it. For me, that one really goes into the fact that, I find it with being an earth sign, it actually helps me going outside, and it helps ground me. I can become really unbalanced if I stay cooped up, not doing anything, get lazy. And outside, being able to breathe fresh air, being able to, watch the trees, feel the wind blow, being able to just put your bare feet on the ground. Some people think that's sketchy. I don't care. I like to have my feet on the ground. I like to pull that energy from the earth through my feet. And I feel that grounds me, it centers me, it makes me feel a lot more secure in myself. It brings me back to the here and now. So I definitely think that just being outside itself is a reason to be thankful, or have the ability to do that. All right. My next one is thank you for letting me eat. I know for some people that sounds like a whole Taurus. And that's fine. For me, I like to say thank you for letting me eat, because I've had digestive issues probably for the last 2 years. And, having those digestive issues can definitely hinder what you like to eat. It makes it difficult on you because there are things that you want to eat, and you really can't do that. So with that in mind, I'm always thankful for the meals that I do have, because especially if they're delicious, I'm like, thank you. There's something that I can eat that doesn't, cause me problems, And it's not like the standard, problems. I'm like, I get severe pain from just eating certain foods, which is why I've went on a completely holistic diet. And luckily, I've actually dropped 40 pounds, So I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for alternatives. I'm grateful for the fact that they allowed me to see that, hey, you got something going on, but here's another solution for you. Here's something else that you should try. Because, that definitely, I feel better. I'm healthier. I've lost weight. And, I feel that my mind is a lot more clearer now because I've, considered the things that I put in my body now. All right. So the next one I have here is thank you for the tools and gifts needed for success. Now, for me, I came to you guys via this channel, and I think it's so interesting because I didn't have to buy anything for me to go live. I have everything here because I'm a photographer too. So with that in mind, I was like, well, I may as well be thankful. I'm like, I have everything I need to get started. All I needed was something to talk about. All I needed was the courage to talk about it. So it definitely, I love when I have things already in my possession. I may have bought something on a whim, put it down somewhere, forgot about it, and boom, it comes back up later being the most important thing you need at that moment. And I love those moments because those are situations in which you were divinely guided to buy that, or divinely guided to, accept this item, or for somebody to give that to you because they knew down the line you were going to need that. That's something to be thankful for because that's like a leg up, that's like a jump start. And I'm grateful for that. I love that. All right, so let me go on to my next one. So my next one I have here is thank you for the roof over my head. So having a roof over your head, that's basic necessities. That's basic, human necessity. I mean, I said it already, but it's so important to have the things in life that make you feel secure. And having a roof over your head, not being rained on for one, but having a roof over your head, especially if it's yours, is so important for, being grounded and feeling secure within, your surroundings. So I definitely feel that being grateful for having that roof over your head is really, really important because for all you know, you could be out here on the streets and trying to figure out what you have to do in that situation. So just be thankful. Take the time out to be like, you know what? Thank you for having this house because maybe this house may not be the best one. Maybe I want to move, but at least you have something for now. You have a place to lay your head at night. That's something to be thankful for. All right, guys. So my next one here is thank you for redirecting me when my mind wants to go negative. All right, so I know a lot of us out here struggle with having anxiety and overanalyzing your thoughts and such. So I definitely really want to touch upon this one because for me, I definitely, before I made this video, talked myself out of it. I've actually not recorded it, but I've actually talked myself through making this video multiple times. And each time is different, but I'm also grateful for the fact that, I was able to get out of that mindset because that lack mindset, that mindset of doubting yourself, it can cancel a lot of your blessings, especially if you like to manifest. If you're manifesting, say, a new house, if you sit there and tell yourself, no, I'm not going to get this house, that's exactly what's going to happen because that's where your mindset is. And it's so important. The law of attraction says that you need to think positively if you want something positive to happen. So with that in mind, I'm always thankful because I do get the thoughts that I still have anxiety. Everybody does. I still have anxiety. I still have my inner mind telling me, hey, you know what? You can't do that. But what's important is to remind yourself when those thoughts come in, hey, be like, you know what? I realize that this situation is a little bit difficult for me. But am I going to let it stop me? Hell no. Nah. So you address it at that particular time. Instead of letting those thoughts overtake you, address it and make it smaller. Because when you make things smaller, eventually they start to disappear. All right. So the next one I have for you is thank you for teaching me about love. Okay. Now, there's so many different kinds of love, but for me, I thought I understood it a long time ago. And I'm realizing now at 30 years old that I didn't know what love was. I spent a long time in the same relationship, on and off with the same person because I thought I was in love with this person. And you know what? And there was some part of me that did care about this person, but when it comes to love, I thought that I knew what love was, and it took me having to walk away from that situation and kind of find it somewhere else, you know, in myself. You know, to find it somewhere else, to be able to realize exactly what love really is. Love for me is unconditional. I mean, it's, I don't know, it's just the hardest thing to explain. You know, love is hard to explain. But going through a relationship that made me feel like I was dealing with a narcissist this whole time, it really, it taught me about boundaries. It taught me about self-respect. It taught me about choosing yourself. It taught me about looking out for the people who don't care for you and accepting the things in life that are meant for you, you know, and releasing what doesn't, because that protects your whole health. And you have to love yourself enough to feel that. And if you're accepting anything right now in your life that is not 100, and you know it's not, deep down, hey, that boyfriend of yours ain't no good, but you like, hey, I don't want to be by myself, honey. Love you. Love yourself. I guarantee you, as soon as you begin to love yourself, you're going to see that that person probably got to go out the door. So that's real specific, but it definitely, it brings forth the point, like I said, the importance of loving yourself. All right, so the next one I have here is thank you for humbling me about more situations than I can think of. Well, I definitely have been humbled in life, okay? And I spent a lot of time kind of walking on this little high horse. I thought I was a shit, and I still am. But I think I'm the shit in a different way now. I think I'm the shit because of my love for myself and the fact that I have proven results in my life. But for some people, that's ego talking. You know, when you have ego talking for you, that's coming from, again, a place of lack mentality, a place of not loving yourself. That's coming from a place of hurt. You know, so when you're coming from a place of hurt, it's empty. You know, it's empty, or there's feelings behind it that aren't genuine. And when you love yourself enough and you say you're the shit, you can back that by the fact that, you know, hey, I have proven results to say, hey, this is the shit I can accomplish. You know, for me, I've been humbled in a lot of ways because I walked around like that and I realized that I ain't no shit. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm cussing. That's what I do. So I realized that I didn't know anything. You know, I thought I did, especially about love. I was humbled in that situation. I thought having a baby at 22, I thought, well, I'm older than most of the people around me having children. I got humbled because kids humble you, believe me. It's not an easy job. There's no manual for that. And every day there's something I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm about ready to pull my hair out on this. But I'm thankful for it because I always seem to get through it. I might be humble, but I come out stronger. So I appreciate that. All right, so the next thing here is thank you for allowing me to see the negative, or to see how negative I've been towards others. Now, that's a really, really strong one for me because, you know, with me being a Capricorn, I definitely come across a little bit harsh to some people. I think that's a Capricorn trait. We come across as really tough. On the inside, we feel everything. We're very passionate people. But, you know, when it comes to being able to show that passion, we're a lot more reserved than that. And then sometimes the things that we come off saying to people can be offensive. That to me definitely allows for me to be able to kind of look and be like, you know what? Not everybody else processes things the same way. And if you're walking around with the mentality of I'm going to say what I'm going to say and I don't care who take it, how, what, that mentality, you're going to be humbled eventually in life. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Because you have to also take into account the feelings of the people that you're speaking to. You don't want to walk around hurting people because first things first, karma. All right. you don't want to walk around people. You don't want to walk around hurting people. Okay, it's always good to be mindful. It's always good to use your critical thinking skills when you're speaking to people, when you're dealing with people. I definitely I always like to take a step back when I'm dealing with people. Somebody could have said something really, really hurtful for me. And, you know, my initial response is to, hey, be like, you know what? Let me put this person in their place. They don't know who they're talking to. But then I have to really step back and be like, you know what? In the past, that's got me in some situations that I really didn't want to be in. You know, I don't like conflict. So with that in mind, I'm like, all right, let me go ahead, take a step back. How should I really address this situation? And sometimes when I take that step back and I think through it, I come from a different perspective. I come from a commerce perspective. And sometimes the solution to whatever issue we may be having is easily found. But if you're coming at somebody in a way that you just cutthroat about the situation, then I mean, you may get somebody that's gonna rise up against you, and it's not helping the situation at all. You know, so it's always good to just kind of like, you know, try to take a look at how you address a situation with somebody. Put yourself in that person's shoes. If you're saying this to this person, if somebody's saying that to you, if you're in this person's shoes, how would you feel? I mean, I want honesty, but I don't want you killing me with it. I don't want lying, but at the same time, just come correct, come responsible, come respectful. And whatever you say, if it's negative, I mean, 9 times out of 10, if I don't feel you right, I'm not going to address it. But at the end of the day, it's good to just be respectful towards people. I feel that with that, the karma for you is going to be good, because you handle that in a way that is more divine than you can ever imagine. Okay? All right, so the next one I have here is, again, thank you for the negative situations that taught me the importance of self-love. For a lot of people, they don't like to say thank you for negative situations. They like to forget about them, okay? Not being thankful for those negative situations and just pushing it to the back of your mind, well, that creates shadow work, which that's another video. I'm gonna go into that, but pretty much it creates a part of yourself that's unhealed that now later on you're gonna have to work on. And sometimes over time those things fester and become larger than they were when they first started. So sometimes it's good to, you know, when a negative situation happens, just take yourself back out of it and be like, you know what? Let me look at this situation. How in this situation am I learning something? What exactly in this situation is teaching me the importance of, you know, my self-love? Where am I teaching myself something here? You know, when you take that time out to find that silver lining, when you take that time out to find the positive in a negative situation, that helps you learn from those negative situations, and it helps you avoid having that situation happen all over again. So it's really, really important to take the time out to be thankful for negative situations, especially if they taught you how to love yourself a little bit more. All right. The next one I have here is thank you for letting me be creative. Being creative for me, I love it. I love that I have so many different things that I can do. And there was once a time in my life where I wasn't really capable of a lot of things. I had to question what my talents were. And questioning those talents, that's what got me fired up to develop talents, because I was like, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I was like, well, damn, I kind of felt bad for myself. I felt like I wasn't good enough. So with that in mind, I was like, well, you know what? What things do I like to do? How can I teach myself how to do that? Believe me, I don't make myself learn a lot of things just off of YouTube alone. I don't learn how to do hair. I don't learn how to take, well, photography I learned by just going out and doing it. But I've also learned, about spirituality based off of YouTube. Obviously I've branched out and learned a lot more by, reaching within. But, you know, I've learned how to make t-shirts off YouTube, or I learned how to make masks off YouTube. Like, I mean, whatever I set my mind to, I make sure that I take the time out to learn it. Because taking the time out to learn something, it makes you multifaceted. You got things you can fall back on. You always got a good side hustle going. So with that in mind, take the time out. If you're creative, I mean, most of us are. Most of us are creative. They don't even realize it. If you're a person who can write a paper for, you know, a business, you know, marketing, any of that, that's creativity, because that comes from you. You know, I think that that's so important, you know, to be thankful for that creativity. And I also think that it's good to take the time out to enhance that, you know, work on that, use that as an escape. Because sometimes when you're going through a lot of things in life, if you're good at doing nails, girl, get them together. You know, that's a whole side hustle. If you practice how to do nails, you can go out there and do other people's nails. And you know, people pay good when you do good nails. So with that in mind, why not make that a business? I mean, come on, creativity. You could be working for yourself. You don't even have to be out here working 9 to 5. If 9 to 5 is for you, I mean, that's great. But with your creative talents, even if you have to learn something new to do it, even if you had to go to YouTube to do it, it's so important to just, like I said, take that time out, because you could go out there and make that shit all on your own. We was never meant to be slaves out here, first off. So with that in mind, be creative, girl, or dude, or anybody else who's not distinguishing their gender here. All right, so the next one, I say thank you for my child. I always say thank you for her. You know, I thought I knew about life, and I spoke on that before, but I thought I knew about life. I thought I knew what it was like. I had babysat kids all growing up. I always felt that my family always dropped their kids off with me when I was younger. You know, and at the time I wasn't really pressed by it, but it eventually got tired. But either way, that's not the point. The point of it is the fact that I thought that when I had my child that I was going to know exactly what to do in situations. Let me tell you something. All I knew how to do was rock a baby to sleep, change diapers, and make bottles, okay? I didn't know the importance of having to stay up with a sick child. I didn't know the importance of scheduling doctor appointments and having to find childcare and not being able to work because there's nobody to watch your kid. So I had to work through all of that. I had to find something within myself that I can do that allowed for me to be able to do this with my child being in the picture, because I want to spend all the time with my daughter, and I will continue doing that. And that, if that means that, hey, we're not working 9 to 5, we're going straight business route, that's what we're gonna do. All right, so next things next is I like to thank, you know, Divine for clarity of mind. Having clarity of mind for me is a lot, okay? Whenever I am going through anything, my first thing to go is my mind clarity. My mind loves to get clouded by, you know, just different situations, overwhelmed, you know. Let me take a sec. My mind loves to get clouded. It makes this situations like kind of difficult to kind of decipher through. So when I do have clarity of mind, which I do whenever I meditate, I definitely thank them for it, because it allows for me to be able to, you know, listen to the messages that the divine is trying to send me. It also allows for me to be able to work through situations a lot easier, because, you know what, now my mind is not clouded. I can think exactly what needs to be done. Boom, I can get on it, you know. All right, so the next one, I say thank you for showing me a way out of this situation. All right. So for me, that goes back to clarity of mind. You know, I see a lot of synchronicities. I'm pretty sure a lot of you do. Synchronicities are like when you see like the time and it says it's like 1:11, or a bus rides by and it says 12:12 on there, or, you know, you boom, turn on your phone, it says 5:55. You know, those are synchronicities. And it's always important to be thankful for those synchronicities, because a lot of the time that's, you know, spirit trying to tell you, hey, you know what, either we got a message for you, Or we let you know, hey, we here with you. We're following you. We letting you know that you're here, that we're here with you, and you know, you don't have to feel alone in this situation. So it's always good to take the time out to pay attention to the signs around you, because those signs around you, a lot of the time, I like to go, that to me is a sign, hey, you know what? If I'm seeing numbers constantly, that's a sign for me to go within and try to listen to what my intuition is trying to tell me, because there's something going on. Not always negative. You know, sometimes they wanted me to kind of address something that I may not have even noticed that I was ignoring. So it's always good to take the time out to pay attention to those signs, because believe me, those signs could save your life. Okay? And my last one here is thank you for reminding me that you're here and I love you. I always like to go ahead and at least tell them that I love them back, because they have to love you in order for them to even be working with you. I mean, I know you don't like working with people that you don't care about or that you don't love. You know, I mean, you may grin and bear, but to develop a relationship with somebody, you know, love has to be there. It really does. Otherwise, it's just, I mean, it's a dead relationship at the end of the day. So I'm always thankful for the fact that I'm actually able to even love them in the first place, because I've definitely been through a lot, and my heart chakra loves to close up, and I work on that. I work on that a lot, because I'm a very loving person, and I love everybody, even the ones that don't like me. I love you. I love you. You may not like me, but I will never spew any negativity towards you. So with that in mind, I'm thankful to be able to love the divine, because they have been here for me from day one, and they have been here for me through every life that I've came through on this earth. All right. So I was able to look back and see all of that, and I'm just like, you know what? Boom. I seen you was there for me. And where you gonna find a person like that on earth? All right. So that's the end of my gratitude list. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. That's something that I'm grateful for. I do thank you guys for tuning in. And for me, this was a pleasure. This is my first video that I actually really went in depth about, you know, something serious for me. But I will be coming to you with a lot more videos. And I hope that you take the time out to like and subscribe. So I'm going to send you some peace, love, and light, and some prayers for our protection. But I thank you again, and have a good day, guys.